Hello and welcome to FedEx Routes Linehaul 101. Today Route Authority is going to give you a quick overview of FedEx Linehaul routes. For those not familiar with Route Authority, we're a top-ranked FedEx route consultant who holds over 10 years of expertise and knowledge in buying FedEx routes. We've owned these, we performed due diligence on hundreds of routes over the years, and we provide bookkeeping and payroll services to FedEx ground contractors. So let's dive into a broad definition of what really line haul is. It's essentially transporting FedEx Ground owned trailers between FedEx Ground's facilities. The FedEx Ground network consists of over 12,000 line haul tractors, and those are owned by FedEx Ground contractors who provide the services to FedEx Ground. FedEx Ground has hundreds of stations located across the U.S. If you visit Route Authority's webpage, we have a map of all the stations that we've compiled over our years and years of providing services to this industry. You can see in the example, you'll see 932. That is one of the station numerical numbers. So as you look into line haul and you may get some settlement sheets from a seller, you're going to see points where they're originating from and going to. If you go to our webpage and look at this map, you'll be able to find out the actual station name and location of those numeric values. And if we dive into, well, what is really line haul in the FedEx route definition? So there's three basics. You bring your road tractor, you bring your employees, and FedEx Ground works with you to execute a Transportation Service Provider Agreement, also known as TSPA. And FedEx Ground provides you trailers in which to go from the different stations. So, the road tractor rules are pretty basic. There's nothing special here except for you have to have forward collision avoidance mitigation in your line haul road tractor. You must use electronic logging devices, and you must have video event data recorders. Outside of that, it's a standard road tractor that is white in color. Now, driver requirements are a little more stringent if you contract for FedEx Ground. You can't just get anyone off the street who just got their CDLA. They must have 1 year of verifiable CDA over the road driving experience in the last 3 years. There are some approved driving schools where they can ride in the team environment. I won't go into the detail of that today since this is a quick overview. But that's the real key thing to know is you're not going to be able just to hire anyone off the street. It is a little more stringent. And then lastly, you're going to have this agreement with FedEx Ground, and we'll dive into a little bit more of that in just a second. So moving into the Transportation Service Provider Agreement, this is what defines the compensation rates, the type of services you'll be providing to FedEx Ground, what line haul runs you will be operating, what points are they going to, and many other contractual aspects, including your responsibilities of ensuring service to FedEx Ground. There's a lot of different terms here, but I just wanted to hit on a couple of them. The attachment A1 lists the line haul runs that are held by the contractor. If it isn't on the attachment A1, it doesn't exist. So just remember that. Schedule B are the trucks that are allowed to provide services to FedEx Ground. And then Schedule C has the compensation rates. And just for clarity purposes, there are what are known as team runs and solo runs. Team runs have two drivers in them. A solo run will typically just take one driver. Assigned runs have a origin and destination that's set each week or daily. And then an unassigned run has a set origin, but no set destination necessarily. They can be going to different places each night, each week if it's a team run. So there's a lot of things here, but at the end of the day, once you start getting into this, you'll have to reach out to some type of advisor, whether it be Route Authority or someone else. Just make sure you're engaging someone independent and not the seller broker in the education. So just some key things to know about the TSPA. It's typically 1 year. It is renewable. No guarantees, but it is renewable. Compensation is fixed. It's not negotiated. The service is pretty straightforward. Whatever that attachment A1 says, that's what you're doing. Your vehicles, as we discussed, pretty standard road tractors, with the exception of you have to have the video event data recorder and you have to have the FCAM. Um, Drivers, at the end of the day, FedEx Ground has a lot of say in who you can hire and who you can't. So just know that. And then you're going to be following FedEx Ground's processing or processes for dispatching and the movement of the trailers. One of the most important aspects of being a line haul contractor is obviously getting paid, right? And so the line haul compensation structure is commonly misunderstood in this industry. It has 5 components. So Schedule C is a variable mileage rate table. What are known as legs that are, I'll say, a component of the line haul run. The shorter the leg, the higher the per mile rate. The longer the leg, the lower the per mile rate. And it does actually cap out at some point. But you'll hear a lot of myths and fallacies of people telling you, oh, my line haul run is over 3,000 miles, how awesome it is. Well, that means you're getting paid probably the lowest rate possible for all 3,000 of those miles. So just know those types of things. Again, always hire an independent advisor or consultant on the buy side. Don't rely on a advisor hired by the seller. There's location-specific adders. There's an indexed compensation to fuel rates. I won't go into the details of it, but just know it's not fuel reimbursement. It's a component of your compensation that is indexed to fuel rates. There's a drop and hook fee. If you place a trailer or pick up a trailer or double trailers, there's certain compensation rates for that. And then there are still some flat rates out there between 2 particular points or stations. And all the amounts on this particular page are just illustrative. At any time, you should refer to the Schedule C for the actual rates being offered by FedEx Ground. So now I know, hey, I have to have trucks, I have to have drivers, FedEx Ground is going to compensate me a certain way, I have certain responsibilities that are outlined in that TSPA agreement. How do I get a line haul run? Well, you have 2 options. You can get them directly from FedEx Ground for free. There's a lot of myths and fallacies here about bidding and all kinds of craziness, I'll just say. But we'll talk about that more. And that is the top way most FedEx Ground contractors get their line haul run is directly from FedEx Ground. Or you can buy from an existing FedEx Ground contractor. There's nothing wrong with buying as long as you pay the right price and hire an independent advisor on the buy side, so you don't get buyer's remorse from listening everything from the seller. There is value in buying from an existing FedEx Ground contractor, but you want to ensure that there actually is value and you're not buying something that someone just got from free 2 weeks ago off of the FedEx Ground Build a Ground Biz website, which we have seen happen. So focusing on the option one, getting for free from FedEx Ground, I highly encourage everyone to visit the buildagroundbiz.com website. That is FedEx Ground's website for recruiting line haul contractors. If anything, go there to have a talk with FedEx Ground. You can have there's a contact area where you can have someone from FedEx Ground reach out to you. You can learn a lot of information about line haul directly from the horse's mouth. They are happy to meet with you, interview, talk to you, all those types of things. But on this site, there's typically opportunities listed. Certain times of the year, there's more opportunities listed than others. It's typically when the TSPAs are renewing or not renewing. If folks didn't get a renewal on their TSPA, all the opportunities will start posting. And it's fairly easy. You go here, you click on it, and you say, I'm interested. They send you a sample copy of that TSPA agreement, and you have to complete what is known as a request for information response online. It's numerous questions. If you need assistance in this or ever need assistance in this, please reach out to Route Authority. We offer a RFI authoring service. We found it to be extremely successful for contractors that are seeking to become contractors with FedEx Ground. And we can't guarantee anything, but I'll tell you our results are quite good in helping people become FedEx Ground contractors or acquiring from an existing contractor via an RFI. And then going into option two, you can buy from an existing FedEx Ground contractor. As stated earlier, there's obvious value in buying from an existing contractor most of the time, not all the time. And so just know that. And again, you always need to hire an advisor in this process. Please, please do not go at this alone or rely on the seller broker. We've seen so much buyer remorse when that happens. It's just hard to understand. Next thing you know, you've gotten into something that you might not have known what you're really getting into. But the biggest thing that happened is you massively overpay. So just know that. I guarantee you, if you hire Route Authority or any independent consultant for that matter, the amount of money that they will save you is probably at least 20 times, if not 50 times, what you pay them to help you. So just know that. But at the end of the day, you're not buying a business, you're buying assets. So you're going to be buying that transportation service provider agreement. You're going to be buying the line haul runs. They'll come over to a new agreement that FedEx Ground creates for you, and you may or may not buy their trucks. You may say, I'm going to go get my own trucks. You don't have to buy their trucks, but you'll execute, obviously, a purchase agreement with that buyer entity and seller entity, and you will be a FedEx Ground contractor after FedEx Ground approves you. So we've talked about what line haul is, transporting trailers between FedEx Ground stations. To become a line haul contractor, you got to have road tractors, employees, and obviously the agreement with FedEx Ground. Getting the agreement with FedEx Ground, there's two options. You can get it directly from FedEx Ground for free, or you can go purchase. And so knowing that if you want to get further into this and potentially become a FedEx Ground contractor, feel free to reach out to us. We found that we have a lot of information we can give to you. Feel free to give us a call for a very quick question or send us an email. But if you want to engage us for due diligence support, an RFI, you need a business plan for lending, please feel free to reach out to us. We've been doing this for over 10 years. I've owned Linehaul for years. We know what we're doing and are happy to help you, and we love to see people become successful contractors. And if you're buying, I can't stress enough, please engage an independent advisor or consultant on the buy side. Again, the biggest thing we hear about is buyer's remorse for overpaying for these. When I guarantee you, myself or anyone on our staff here, or any independent consultant or advisor in this industry, will be able to save you tons in ultimate purchase if you decide to go the purchase route. That's it. If you need anything else, feel free to reach out to us at 240-457-9757 or email at contact@routeauthority.com.